to go to college. I found so much more than that.
I found friends. I found sports.
I found my passion.
I found family.
I found my calling. I found a place to call home. Discover what you can find at Marietta by visiting marietta.edu today.
Coming up today on NewsCenter 15, testimonies from fossil fuel executives to Congress.
And a very Halloween-appropriate holiday.
We'll have these stories and more. NewsCenter 15 starts now. Good afternoon and welcome to Thursday's edition on NewsCenter 15. I'm Haley Lanham.
And I'm Kayleen Placencia.
Topping our news this afternoon, fossil fuel executives are set to testify on alleged climate change disinformation at a House oversight hearing Thursday. It's first time executives of major fossil fuel companies and industry groups will testify before Congress about climate disinformation and the alleged role their organizations have played in it. Heads from ExxonMobil, BP America, Chevron, Shell Oil, and American Petroleum Institute and the U.S. Chamber of Commerce will appear before the committee.
A Marine's remains were found missing that were missing for almost 78 years are finally buried in Arlington National Cemetery. Private First Class Harold W. Hayden of Norwood, Ohio, fought in World War II. The Defense Department says he died at just 19 during the Battle of Tarawa in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. The military believed his remains were lost. A nonprofit called History Flight discovered them near where he died, and a lab verified the body was Hayden's. His brother says it's exhilarating to know Hayden's body is finally home on U.S. soil.
Hey Kayleen, I wonder what the weather looks like out there today.
Here to provide a first look, here we have the weather, Landon Santini.
Well, thank you, Kayleen. I can certainly tell you that considering the fact we're in the middle of October and getting closer and closer to Halloween, this is oddly the warmest day of the year. As you can, well, not of the year, but of the week rather. As you can see, we've got a high temperature, expected high of 57 with cloudy conditions outside, but that's going to change very soon. So because of the fact that we're so clear right now, the air quality is very good. The UV index is 3, very moderate with a very low pollen count. And the winds are going to be running at the east-northeast at roughly 8 miles per hour, and the humidity is roughly 68%. Though that's going to be, from what I understand, that's going to be steadily climbing as we get further and further into the evening, and that could have something of a damper on Halloween this upcoming weekend, but we'll talk a little bit more about that and some of the jack-o'-lantern that we'll probably be seeing around the neighborhood, like this lovely one right here. Oh, very freaky teeth. But we'll talk a little bit more about that when I come back later on for the 5-day forecast. Until then, back to you guys at the desk.
A new survey hesitance among parents to get young children vaccinated against COVID-19. FDA advisors voted to recommend the shot for kids 5 to 11 years old on Tuesday. Advisors at the Centers for Disease Control are expected to mirror that decision as early as next week. Just 27% of parents surveyed by the Kaiser Family Foundation said they plan to vaccinate their young children as soon as possible. Most health care experts agree with the FDA that the benefits of the vaccine outweigh the risks in children.
It's National Chocolate Day, October 28th. Chocolate is made from roasted and ground cacao pods that can be a liquid, solid, or a paste on its own or as a flavoring agent. According to History.com, mankind's love of chocolate stretches back more than 5 millennia. Research suggests that when eaten in moderation, chocolate can lower blood pressure, so don't feel bad about enjoying some today.
Coming up, a special Halloween segment.
Stay with us.
Hey, this is Kevin Love from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Right now, many of us feel anxious. Mindfulness can help you ease those feelings. My nonprofit is partnering with Headspace to offer free content to help you stress less. Head to kevinlovefund.org/headspace.
Here's to the straggly ones, the first ones. But hey, I look good with this ones. The black, brown, red, and gray ones. The itchy ones. The ones grown by Dad. The ones grown for Dad. The I nearly didn't do it this year ones, and the absolutely filthy ones. They all raise awareness, raise funds, start conversations, and save lives. Because whatever you grow will save a bro. Learn more at Movember.com.
Americans are expected to spend a record $10 billion on Halloween this year. That's according to the National Retail Federation. The NRF says people will spend $2 billion more this year than in 2020 on Halloween candy, decorations, and costumes for adults, kids, and pets. Most of the spending, or over $3.3 billion of it, will go to costumes. The organization says it is the most consumers have spent on costumes since 2017. On average, consumers are expected to fork over a little more than $102 on Halloween-related items.
A brush fire in Metro Denver led to a spooky scene early Monday morning. The flames burned a haunted attraction at a nearby farm. Responding firefighters had to truck in 3,000 gallons of water from the closest hydrant to fight the blaze. They had it contained by shortly after 2 a.m., but allowed the interior to continue burning. No one had to be evacuated and no injuries were reported. Investigators are looking into what caused the fire.
Chipotle is once again changing up its Halloween tradition due to the pandemic. The fast food restaurant has moved this year's burrito deal for costume wearing customers online. Chipotle says to get a free burrito, customers have to visit its virtual location on the mobile platform Roblox, grab a virtual costume, and beat a Chipotle burrito maze. The first 30,000 customers who participate will receive a free burrito code. The codes can be used on Chipotle's website and mobile app. The online burrito deal will last 4 days beginning on October 28th through Halloween.
A bizarre Halloween tradition. Students gather to roll and smash pumpkins in a long tradition not appreciated by all. It's called the annual pumpkin roll, and it happens in suburban Cleveland each year a few days before All Hallows Eve. The event started as a prank by a bunch of high school students in 1967, and it has endured since then. Students use a dump truck to unload pumpkins off of the top of a hill that leads down the street to Chagrin Falls Main Street. Some of those pumpkins are donated, others are apparently stolen. Though the students appear to have a great time, you can see why some of the residents aren't exactly happy with the tradition. Police will give organizers a ticket for illegal dumping, but students raise money to pay those fines and clean up the mess. We don't know if they play music by smashing pumpkins during the event, but if they don't, consider it a missed opportunity.
That is right. And coming up, Philadelphia police will get new equipment.
We'll also get the latest news from Hollywood.
And as you can tell from the abundance of pumpkins that's been invading our studios, we love Halloween too, but a recent downpour that's going to happen this weekend might put a damper on it. But we'll see if that will indeed be a true hindrance on the Halloween spirit when we come back for the 5-day forecast. Stay tuned.
Where are we?
We're at Marietta College.
This is where we live at Marietta College.
A woman who was fired after asking to bring an oxygen tank to work to help her breathe will get $25,000 in a federal settlement. Delaware-based Trimark Food Craft also agreed to train its staff on what qualifies as a reasonable accommodation under the Americans with Disability Act. She was fired after trying to return to work following a hospital stay for breathing problems related to a disability. The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission settlement also requires Trimark to clearly inform employees about their rights.
A northeastern storm that battered the U.S. coast with hurricane-force wind gusts has left 425,000 people without power in Massachusetts and forced the closure of bridges, ferries, and schools. The Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency reported the widespread power outages Wednesday morning. Areas along the coast experienced wind gusts of 80 miles per hour to 90 miles per hour. In Connecticut, power lines came down on a school bus headed to Middletown High School on Wednesday morning. No injuries were reported.
Philadelphia will spend $14 million to equip all of its officers with stun guns, train them in their use, and require officers to wear them while on duty. It was the anniversary of a fatal police shooting of Walter Wallace Jr. The shooting was filmed by a bystander and sparked days of protest over police brutality. Wallace was a 27-year-old black man who was having a mental health episode when police fired 14 shots. Neither of the officers responded had stun guns. Today's entertainment news shows the horror of holiday shopping.
Here to fill us in on the latest news in Hollywood is George Riffle.
What do you have for us, George?
Thanks, guys. What could be worse than working at a toy store? Thanks, guys. What could be worse than working at a toy store on Thanksgiving night as mobs, panic shoppers come looking for bargains? Oh, yes. Yeah, all right, there we go. Looking for bargains. What if some of those shoppers were monsters on a murderous rampage? Store manager Bruce Campbell and his retail minions battle the holiday hordes in the horror comedy Black Friday in theaters November 19th and on demand November 23rd. Emilia Clarke is putting a futuristic spin on pregnancy. In her next movie, Variety reports, Clarke is set to star in the Pod Generation, about a couple using new technology to share the pregnancy experience with detachable artificial wombs or pods, which begins filming in March. Some movies have preview screenings the night before official release day, but what if it's a movie for kids? Who can't stay up that late? With Clifford the Big Red Dog opening Wednesday, November 10th, Paramount is holding all-day early access screenings on Thursday, November 9th. That's all in entertainment in Hollywood. I'm George Riffle. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, George. Now we'll head to Landon Santini for a look at the weather.
How does it look out there, Landon?
Well, it certainly looks, in our neck of the woods, it certainly looks calm for the time being, but as you can see, coming towards us from the middle portion of the United States, from our neighboring, specifically from our neighboring state of Indiana, we're going to be getting an immense amount of precipitation soon. It's slowly creeping towards our lovely Buckeye state of Ohio, going past St. Louis, and when it gets here, it's obviously going to cause a bit of a downpour and rain on any lovely jack-o'-lanterns that anybody has laid out on their porch. So I would probably, if you have a canopy, I would advise you to put them out of harm's way of the rain for the time being. But hopefully that won't be too much of a damper, because on Friday, as we get into the weekend, we'll have some obvious rain with a bit of a cool down with a high of 61. As we go into Saturday, the rain will continue with a high of 55. But when Halloween finally comes around on Sunday, the rain should be coming to an end as well, with an expected high of 61 and cloudy conditions. And then as we get into the beginning of the work week and the month of November, we'll have a drastic cool down with the highs of 57, a low of 45, more partly cloudy conditions. And going into Tuesday, we'll then have a different kind of weather with a chance of snow. That's a big surprise, with a high of 46 and a low of 36. So because of the rain that's headed our way later on this evening, that's a big reason we're experiencing the rather warm temperatures we're having today, to the point you'd swear it was towards the beginning of the month. But with that, hopefully the rain won't stick around for very long and won't put too much of a damper on our lovely trick-or-treating for all the families to do around all the various neighborhoods in the Mid-Ohio Valley area. You can maybe take your dogs with you too. I'm sure they would like some candy as well. And whether you're an adult or child, it's delicious, so who cares? Enjoy it. It's just one day of the year, and who knows, it might give you cavities like it has some of our pumpkins, but everyone needs to go to the dentist. But we'll talk a little bit more about some of the fun things we can be looking forward to this Halloween season at the end of the program. Right now, back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Landon. When we come back, Jalen Gordon will join us with an update from the world of sports.
See you in a few.
James Brown and Bill Cowher welcoming you back to the Midnight Snack Run.
This is one tricky obstacle course.
He's reaching, but he pushes it away. He's approaching a plate of iced cookies. He blows right by him.
Oh, the fridge.
Looks like he's headed for the soda. Wait, he jukes left, grabs the water bottle.
Now he's just got to get out of there.
Look what dropped from the sky.
Don't do it, Dennis. That's the way you execute a Midnight Snack Run.
Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer.
Go to takeahealthystand.org.
Have you ever wondered why people are so dumb in horror movies? How often do you see this?
I think we should split up.
True, we can cover more ground that way.
Hello? Is anyone there? Hello?
This is what happens when you pursue a proper education.
We should split up.
Nah, strength in numbers.
Become a pioneer today. Go to mariettacollege.edu.
We've always had villains to face.
Bad guys to take down. But you
You are the most horrible of all.
we're not here because we have to be.
We're here because we've had enough of you.
Every single one of us is mortal.
But inside of us, we're all heroes.
So stand up with us.
Stand up to fight.
Stand up to cancer. Visit standuptocancer.org to learn more.
And now we're back with Jalen Gordon for a look at sports. And I don't know about you, Kayleen, but I don't know anything about sports.
I'm in the same boat as you, Haley. What are we looking at in the world of sports, Jalen?
I can help you guys over here right now. Today, the World Series opener viewers are up a whopping 17.5% from last year's viewer numbers. A total of 10,811,000 viewers tuned in this year's compared to the 9,195,000 viewers from last year. The World Series is still going on as the Braves lead the Astros 2-0. Tune in tomorrow's game at 8:09 p.m. on ESPN2 or Fox. Other news, the undefeated Golden State Warriors are off to a hot start this season. Steph Curry is making history again in the Bay as well. Curry is the first player in Warriors history to reach 100 points, 25 rebounds, and 25 assists in the first 4 games of the season. They don't call him Chef Curry for a reason. He's cooking right now. Curry and the Warriors are back in action tonight at 10 o'clock versus Ja Morant and the Grizzlies. In Marietta College sports, Marietta College women's soccer and men's soccer were victorious over the Fighting Muskies over Muskingum last night. The women took the win with a score of 2-0, and the men won 2-1. The next matchups for the teams will be this weekend when they both face Baldwin Wallace. The women are set to kick off at 4 o'clock on the blue turf, and the men will travel to BW for a 7 o'clock kickoff. That's all I have for sports today. Hope you guys have a safe weekend for Halloween. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Jalen. Joining us now at the desk, we will have Landon for our last look at the weather.
Well, first of all, don't feel bad. I really don't know much about sports either, but I do know is that the weekend before Halloween is going to be rather wet and damp. It's rather warm today, and that's because of the rain that's coming. It should be hitting here around roughly 6 or 7 p.m. tonight. But thankfully, when Halloween, the actual day, finally comes on Sunday, it should stop by then. So unless you're planning on trick-or-treating on any of those days, yeah, you should probably bring along an umbrella or a parka or a raincoat or something. Yeah, it should help you with any downpour, like the downpour of pumpkin and gremlins that are invading our studio on this lovely Halloween broadcast of ours.
Speaking of Halloween, what's your guys' favorite Halloween candy? Mine's Twix.
Twix is decent. I'm vegan, so I can't really have any of the good chocolate stuff. Yeah, when I used to not... Okay.
Wow.
Happy Halloween!
Okay, to answer your question quickly, my favorite is anything that has fruit in it. I don't like chocolate much myself either, but I especially love the Laffy Taffy.
I like
Hashtag
Smarties.
not sponsored.
Not spawned. I like Smarties the best.
All right,
oh, really?
I'm a chocolate girl. I'm a sweets girl. You know, I like the Reese's and the Twix, but yeah. Well, thanks for joining us on Thursday's edition of WCMO TV, Channel 15 at 12:30 and 6:30. From all of us here at the station, we wish you a great weekend and a happy Halloween.
Candace. This senior basketball player loves to spend time hanging out before class with her best friend and education major Shelby. Shelby knows the best place to study is at the Kalaki Cafe, where she can compare notes with baseball player Ryan and get a great cup of coffee too. In the off-season, Ryan tries his best when he's shooting hoops with broadcasting major Gage in the Dyson Baudo Recreation Center, home of Fenton Court. Gage, as producer at WCMO 15 News, runs the control room, where he shows the ropes to Mary, a junior volleyball player and advertising and public relations major. Mary loves to spend her free time drawing down at the Herman Fine Arts Center, where her sorority sister Madison majors in studio art. Madison meets up downtown with junior rower Katie. Downtown's where you can get beautiful river views, specialty stores, and the best root beer in Ohio. Katie heads back to campus just in time for a class in the Rickey Science Center with who else but Candace. So take a look around. Here at Marietta College, we're all connected. We are family, and we are all pioneers.
So there you are. It's flu season, and you're over 65 like me. You might be forgetting something serious. Your annual flu shot. The flu can be life-threatening, especially if you have chronic conditions like diabetes and heart disease, which can worsen with the flu. The immune system weakens with age. Ask about a flu vaccine option made specifically for us. Visit ncoa.org/flu to learn more and talk to your doctor about vaccine options for people 65 and older.
My Marietta.
My Marietta.
My Marietta.
My Marietta.
My home away from home.
My stepping stones for the future. My Marietta Network.
My performing.
At Marietta College, the professors are here for you more than just your classes. They want to help you succeed in both school and your career because they really care about you as a person. And that's why I can call my professors my friends. And that's why they're part of my Marietta Network.
I enjoy being here at Marietta College with all the kind of things that you get to do with mass media. You get to work around with the community, whether it be the elections that happen or with sports. You get to work on radio and format your own kind of show, whichever way you'd like to do it. And you even get to work on live television here. I mean, there's nothing more you could really ask for if you're interested in broadcasting or doing anything